Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the area of ABFM. Am I audible clearly as well as visible? So let's begin with the class today. We are going to talk about the area of okay. We are going to talk about the area of private equity and venture capital to the next level. Acha, now I'm going to talk about the various topics relating to the area of general partners. Who are the general partners in this organization? Who are the managing partners, right? So we'll be talking about these people in detail today. So let's begin. Okay, so when we talk about this area, this is private equity and venture capital. What do you mean by private equity and venture capital? We have talked about it in the previous class as well. So I'm going to talk about this particular area. Who are general partners? Acha, what is the primary responsibility of general partners in the fund management team? In the management team, now we have different people. So the ones who are managing the funds, those people, what is that specific thing that they have to do, right? So what would be the answer in this case? What is the primary responsibility of a general partner in the fund management team? Marketing the funds concept, managing the day-to-day operations, handling the legal documentation, or conducting due diligence on the companies. When we talk about the primary responsibilities of the general partners, these people are not in the organization for their working in such a way that they would be taking care of day-to-day working. Okay? Or they would be looking forward towards the regular operations of the organization. They are not there to do that. Then handling legal documentation, why are we having the legal people all together then if we have to take care of it? So that is also out of the window. Then conducting due diligence for on the companies. Due diligence is normally done by auditors. This is not done by them. Due diligence, now many organizations have started getting auditors for the same, that conduct the due diligence for the companies to find out whether the books of accounts are prepared in a proper manner. That is for the basic audit report, they do that. But due diligence means whether their internal control is stronger, are they able to work in a proper way. That part is due diligence, which is not done by these managers at all. So if I eliminate one, eliminate two, and eliminate three, we have got A. Marketing the funds concept. We're looking at the funds concept. Then, what is the term used by venture capitalists to describe the process of finding new investment opportunities? Capitalization, deal flow, due diligence, or seed funding? What is that specific term which is used for the investment opportunities? See, when we talk about capitalization, that is basically adding capital. Then, when we talk about due diligence, we have just talked about seed funding is when the organization is budding, when it is just growing, we give that organization a particular opportunity to grow further. Okay, that is called budding in, which is called seed financing. This is called seed financing. Now, when we talk about deal flow, this is the opportunity whenever, see, this is the work of the entrepreneurs in-house residents. They try to find out different opportunities or ventures for these people. Then that is how they create deal flow. They're looking forward towards the process of finding new investment opportunities. That is deal flow. Acha, what does the due diligence involve in context of fund management? Marketing strategy assessment, investigating potential investment opportunities, financial auditing of the fund, or recruiting staff for the portfolio companies. What does the due diligence involve in the context of fund management? When we talk about due diligence, this is paying attention towards what exactly the people are doing. है ना? So due diligence in this area is investigating potential or financial auditing of a fund. Again, auditing word is used because basically now due diligence is something which is connected with auditing first. But when due diligence is what? When you are being active in terms of analyzing things. That is what we can define due diligence in simple words. You are given an option or something and you are evaluating the option in detail and trying to find out what is this particular objective, what is it that they are doing, right? So this is what we talk about in this area, right? So in this case, they investigate. These people are the reason that they have to look forward towards how the working is going on and what they have to do about it. So in this case, the correct answer would be investigating the potential investing opportunities. Next question. How do general partners raise capital for the fund? How these general partners are getting the work for the business, because managing ones are fine. They have determined that we will be working for the organization. But how are these general partners doing things? Then writing checks to potential limited partners, contacting potential limited partners and selling them on the fund concept, conducting due diligence of the portfolio or companies. Then is portfolio companies is when you are putting your money to different areas. So you are never going to put all your eggs in one basket. You're going to put your money into different areas. So investing in the startup founders pitches. So what would be the answer in this case? See, they are going to, the general partners have to raise capital. Again, you have to get the capital so that you can invest in different businesses. So what they'll do is they will not write checks to the limited partners. They will not have to conduct the portfolio. You want to raise more money. So what will you do is contacting potential limited partners and selling them on the fund concept. We're going to contact them and we are going to give them more shareholding and all, and that is why we'll be raising more money for them. See, the point is the people who are already existing, we always give them key. Do you have more money to invest? If you have and you feel that you would like to, then please give us the money. That means you're going to contact in that way. So this is basically contacting the limited potential limited partners and selling them on the fund concept. What is the focus of the grow phase for general partners in the fund management? Obtaining regulatory approvals, enhancing the fund's marketing strategy, providing assistance to portfolio companies for the growth, or closing deals with the potential limited partners. Grow phase. Acha, when you are growing now, it is like the basic, then the grow, and then the further portion is there. So obtaining regulatory approvals is required, enhancing the fund's marketing strategy, providing the assistance to the portfolio companies for the growth, or closing the deals with potential partners. Do you close the deals? That is how we grow? Not really. Then providing assistance to the portfolio companies for growth, or we are looking, see, the point is when you are looking forward towards uh, grow. Again, I think if I look at the core word, we are looking for grow. In the core word, obtaining regulatory approvals will not really make the organization grow. That is for sure. You know, this will not make the organization grow. Enhancing the fund's marketing strategy, this can help the organization, but to reach out to maximum people. But this is also not something which will make the organization grow further. So I think I can cancel it out as well. Closing the deals with the potential limited partners will not be helpful too. So the point is assistance that you are giving to the portfolio companies for growth, that will be helpful ultimately. This is the answer. Providing the assistance to portfolio companies for growth. Acha, next question. What is the main role of general partners in the fund management? Managing legal documentation, marketing the fund concept, conducting due diligence, or writing checks to a limited partner. What is the main role? They are looking forward towards the marketing of the fund concept. You have to go and tell people that this is our concept. We would like you to put money into our business. We would like maximum people to invest in our company. That is, the fund management will make sure that the fund is always full. When the fund is always full, it will give more. What does due diligence involve in fund management? Uh, Due diligence, this is actually the repetition of a question there. No? It is basically investing into auditing is not the point there. The answer is investigating the potential investments. We just this same question but with a different language. Acha. Now comes the next question, everyone. Why should one choose to invest in preferred equity rather than common equity in the startup? See, whenever a startup is coming up and you are the general or the common equity, you are not given any specific importance and your share in that business is very limited too. You know, why should one choose to invest in preferred equity? Why should we look forward towards preferred equity rather than common equity? Common equity is for everyone, but I would like to have my own specific share, a different set of share, that is preferred equity. To gain more control over the stock, to mitigate the negative effects of risk of event shutdown. If the company shut down, both the kind of equity are dying, so it doesn't really matter. To increase the voting rights of the limited partners, or to ensure dividend for the limited partners. See, the dividend has nothing to do with this area, right? So one thing is there, that there is nothing that we can look forward to. The limited area of voting rights or higher dividends, there is nothing with the preferred equity and common equity there. To gain control over common stock owned by the founders. वैसे तो normally it is done to do that part, right? So in actual, to gain control over the common stock owned by the founders, preferred equity is normally kept by the founders itself so that they can have it by the end if the company is dying or someone else is taking over. For example, the company was founded by me and then I have got multiple investors and now investors are eating up my company, which is not worth it. So that thing is definitely there. So to mitigate the negative effects of risk of the in the event of nay, the answer has to be A in this case. The answer has to be A. That is to gain control over the common stock owned by the founders. So basically, they are going to the preferred equity is actually done by the founders. Nahin. See, the point is when we talk about the preferred equity, now preferred equities, founders or promoters asking a few people that I want you to be a shareholder. I want you to be a shareholder. Reason that if you are giving me money, we have the ownership together. So basically, founder is retaining their control in this. So I would go for B there. That is to mitigate the negative effects of the risk in the event of shutdown. So basically, you are saving your organization. The answer would be B only. Since the preferred equity, when we talk about it, the preferred equity can be stated as the equity which is related to the area of preferred equity can be said as something which works towards the area of specific people getting a share in the business. Not everybody is getting the share in the business. Specific people are getting the share in the business. Acha, if this session is helpful for you, please don't forget to like it. And at the same time, the PDF of this class is available on my Telegram channel. The Telegram channel is CAIIB Exam 2023 Niharika ma'am. This is the name of the Telegram channel. Kindly look out for it in Telegram, and this is where you'll find the PDFs of all the classes and all that I'm putting there. Even the previous marathons and all, whatever marathon I'll be conducting now, all those things would be shared on the Telegram channel. Okay. Acha, here comes the next pointer. What is the purpose of voting right clause in the deal structure? To determine the startup product strategy, to influence the timing of going public or selling the company, to decide the salary of the startup founders, or to manage day-to-day operations. See, voting rights are required because now whenever decision making is given to someone who has no idea about it, then they can take wrong decisions. So basically, what are we going to do? We are going to, whenever we are having voting rights, then I will determine the path. I will determine the flow of the working. So to determine the startup product strategy, this is done to influence the timing. No, this is not related to salary at all. One thing is sorted. Salary ho gaya. This is not allowed. To manage the day-to-day operations, there are other people. है ना, though they are not taking care of it as well. So in this case, the voting right is there for before you are going public. For example, before I reach out to the public, what will happen? The moment I reach out to the public, equity is opened up to all these people. So all of these people can be a partner. So instead of doing that, I will say, देखिए, this much portion is already mine. Rest everybody see what you want to have. So basically, to influence the timing of going public or selling the company, we are keeping the things in our hand. कि देखिए, control is still mine. Voting right is basically kept to keep the control intact. So in this case, the correct answer would be to influence the timing of going public or selling the company. Okay. Achha, there was a specific question related to a particular person in the book itself. So I am just taking this part. Why would one include anti-dilution clauses in the deal structure? Anti-dilution means we cannot dilute it. Dilution means to end the company, to increase the valuation of the startup, to protect the fund's ownership percentages in case of lower valuation in subsequent funding rounds. I'm sorry. To facilitate the exit strategy of the startup, or to negotiate between the terms of startup founders. So when we talk about the anti-dilution, dilution means to dilute the shareholding or the power. Okay, so basically whatever power or control you already have, that cannot be diluted. Diluted means if we have some acid and we want to make it weaker, we will add more water. So anti-dilution means even if you're adding more water, the concentration of acid should still be the same. The consistency should be the same. That means the people who are in power in the organization, they should remain in power in the organization. It shouldn't be like they should lose their power or something. Okay. So this is done to protect the fund ownership percentage in case of lower valuation. If the company is having a lower valuation in subsequent rounds, even then they are trying to save themselves. That would be B. To protect the fund's ownership percentage in case of lower valuation in subsequent funding rounds. Here comes a question, everyone. There are assertion as well as reasoning. Assertion is carry the bonus, uh, carry the bonus based on fund performance, motivates Rajan to achieve the highest possible return. This was actually the name of the person who was given in the book itself. So this is a question based upon the fact that if you have a bonus, matlab they can give any person who's managing the fund. The person who's managing the fund, there is a fund performance bonus there to achieve the highest return on his fund. Reasoning is general partners are typically they receive a percentage of 20 to 30% of the fund profits. Surprisingly, when we talk about general partners and limited partners, in this case, general partners earn more than the limited partners because they are the general risk takers. Limited partners have defined their borders ki itna. That is it. We won't be going above this. So in this case, when we talk about the area of the managers there, their working would be little and slightly different. Okay, so in this case, what would be the correct answer? The correct answer is both assertion and reasoning are true, and reasoning is the correct explanation of assertion. Both assertion and reasoning are true, but reasoning is not the correct explanation. Assertion is true, but reasoning is false, or assertion is false. So in this case, the correct answer would be both assertion and reasoning are true. In this case, both are correct. Higher the general partners normally get a major portion of the fund profit. Okay. So both the assertion and reasoning are true and reasoning is correct. In the examination, we would be having a few questions on reasoning and assertion, and at the same time, now that there are questions, there are going to be questions where there would be no options even. है which term refers to individuals or institutions that have already invested in the funds managed by the venture capital? Managing partners, principals, entrepreneurs and residents, or limited partners? People who have already invested. Managing partners are the people who are managing the work overall, right? Limited partners is something कि ठीक है, this is the amount, this is how we want to keep in it. Entrepreneurs in residence is basically kept so that they can attract more entrepreneurship projects for the organization to invest in. The more projects are, once they grow, more money they will bring to the venture capital fund. But this can also be very loss making for the venture fund as well if they are not taking care of their work properly. Then the correct answer here would be the people who have already invested now. We are not asking for this. Entrepreneurs brings it up. Managing partners are the people who are managing the day-to-day operations. Limited partners are the people who have already invested. That is why they have defined their share. This is my share in the venture capital firm. So in this case, the correct answer would be D. And everyone, and okay. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, what is the likely impact of lower valuations on venture investors even in the face of increased macroeconomic uncertainty? When there is a macroeconomic uncertainty, macroeconomic means, for example, currently there are wars going on, nuclear weapons are being used. Basically, there's a word every single year we hear this that the war can come up. Last year, there Armenia and Azerbaijan were fighting with the last 2 3 years. Then Syria was having problems, and right now Israel versus Palestine is going on. Ukraine and Russia is going on. So all these things are macroeconomic. This is not in my control, but these things are happening. So in this case, what is the likely impact of lower valuation on venture investors? What will these people when they face more uncertainty at the international or national level, the level in which you have no influence? Then venture investors will allocate more risk capital. Venture capital will decrease risk capital allocation. Then venture investor will focus on short term investments, or they will exit the market. See, exiting the market means you will not be able to generate any more funds. It's of no use. Then venture investor will focus on short term investments are normally higher returns, but higher risk is also there, right? So then is the venture investor will decrease risk capital allocation? They will not. They will have to keep the capital to cover up the area of risk. So in this case, the correct answer is going to be venture capital. Venture investors will allocate more risk capital. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. I hope you have reviewed our previous marathon as well. In the last marathon, I have taken questions of Module B, and I think I'll be continuing with the Module B as well as then I'll be looking forward to Module C and D as well. So I hope you are reviewing my classes every single day. Every single day we are coming up with one or the other thing regarding ABFM. So since the last 2 weeks are left now, so let's look forward to it, everyone. Chaliye, then let's continue. Okay. So here comes the first question, that is private equity and venture capital. When we're talking about private equity and venture capital, what is the primary regulatory authority overseeing the private equity funds in India? RBI, Ministry of Finance, then Securities and Exchange Board of India, or Ministry of Corporate Affairs. When we talk about the primary regulatory body which oversees the private equity funds, every single kind of funding, you can say securities are always taken care by, the basic is always taken care by Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI does that. It is SEBI. ठीक है? After this, here comes the next question. That is, Securities and Exchange Board of India is responsible for private equity. See, this organization is taking care of the public offers as well. Whenever initial public offers are made by the companies, na, their IPOs, they are all managed by and regulated by SEBI, because anything that is listed on the exchange, it is SEBI who takes care of it, that whatever is visible to the people there, the companies are genuine, they are not doing anything which is bad for the world altogether, right? Because so many people are putting their money into it. Chale, then let's continue further. Okay. Here comes the next question. According to SEBI, or Alternative Investment Funds Regulations of 2012, they talk about what is the definition of alternate investment fund. It is an investment fund incorporated outside India, and any privately pooled investment vehicle established or incorporated in India, or any mutual fund regulated in India. Good morning. Or any fund exclusively for retail investors. What is it for? What is it for, everyone? Private equity. See, SEBI has been taking care of alternate investment fund and all of these things in I would say they've been taking care of all these things because ultimately na, the entire market is dependent upon the various ways through which you raise money. And if the ways are not sorted, then what will happen? The entire market would be hit, and the reason why SEBI was incorporated would be completely violated. So when we talk about SEBI now, SEBI in alternate investment funds is basically any privately pooled investments. Private means selected people taking care of it. Vehicle established or incorporated in India. This is completely incorporated in India, and this is something that I choose the people to whom I want to give the shares to. Okay? I will choose the people to whom I want to give the shares. Then comes the next point. Any privately pooled investment vehicle. The next point is regarding the category one. Acha, in terms of the AIF now, alternate investment fund, there are three categories overall. Which of the following is not category one AIF? Venture capital, SME, or small medium enterprises funds, or real estate funds, or infrastructure funds, which are not category one. There are multiple categories, everyone. So, which one of the following is not category one? Venture capital is category 1. B, Sabiha ma'am. Okay. Let's look at the answer, please. Venture capital funds, SMEs, or small medium enterprises, or real estate. The answer is actually C. The answer is real estate funds. Real estate funds are not included in the category 1 AIF. It is real estate funds. Okay. Next question. This question is regarding the main goal of establishing the SEBI AIF regulations. Everybody? Okay. I think now it would be visible. What is the main goal of SEBI, Alternate Investment Fund Regulations 2012? Increasing the government control over the investment funds? No. SEBI doesn't work for increasing the government control. Then the second point is increasing the accountability of market participants. Ma'am, in this area now, I'll be covering the entire MCQ of all these categories. So you will be able to get the entire detail there. Okay? Then increasing the accountability of the market participants and market stability, nullifying all the previous regulations on investment funds or promoting speculative trading in the market. When we're talking about the main goal of SEBI, the main goal of SEBI would be what? SEBI does see AIF doesn't work towards the government control. One thing is that the government control cannot be increased. They are now moving towards the capitalized market, the market which is run by the demand and supply. Then increasing the accountability. See, this can be done because now this particular area is left only towards the people who are participating in the market. So when it is talking about the people who are participating in the market now, then they are totally depending on the market participants to run their market. That means the demand and the supply is based upon this. Nullifying all the previous regulations on investment funds and promoting speculative trading in the market. So answer is B. That is increasing the accountability of the market participants and market stability. This is a little longer question on again SEBI there. The introduction of SEBI, the Alternate Investment Fund Regulations 2012, aimed to establish a standardized framework for the governance of the private pools of funds. It is for the private pools of funds, or this framework was introduced to encourage the efficient distribution of funds in the market. Are both the assertion and reasoning true and correct, or it is any of them has a problem? That means both assertion and reasoning are true. Reasoning is correct explanation for assertion. Both the assertion and reasoning are true, but it is not the correct explanation of assertion. Assertion is true or assertion is false. What would be the answer according to you? What would be the answer in this case? We are talking about AIF. We have just talked about it. It was established to standardize the framework of for the governance. See, this is what I was talking about. It doesn't work for government, but it works for governance. Governance is basically maintenance of this piece there of private pools of funds. This framework was introduced to encourage the efficient distribution of funds. This is it. In terms of the working, they understand that they cannot work with the government thing. They have to leave things on the market, the demand and the supply. So basically what they are doing is introducing the self regulation in this area, that people are themselves working in that manner, that the chances of the frauds or any other misconceptions regarding this working is eliminated altogether. Here comes the next point, everyone, that is angel funds. Angel funds and venture capital fund, they are not the same thing. What's the difference between the two, everyone? Correct, ma'am. Very good. Then comes the next question. It says the angel funds are subcategory. It is not the main, but angel funds are the subcategory of venture capital fund under category 1 AIF. That is, reason is angel investors are restricted to investing a maximum amount of 25 lakh in the angel funds for a period of 3 years. So are they putting up maximum 25 lakhs in terms of period of 3 years, or assertion and reasoning is true, assertion is true or reasoning is false? What is the correct answer? Both are true and reasoning is correct. Both are true and but reasoning is not correct. Assertion is true, reason is false, assertion is false and reason is true. What would be the answer? When we talk about AIF category 1, angel capital. Angel funds are those funds which people are helping to for the business to grow, but these are not going to take over the business even if you grow into something really cool. So basically, these people are okay investors. I won't say they're very big or very small. They're good investors. They can invest good amount of money. but the restriction is there up to 25 lakh rupees. Along with that, it is normally up to a period of 3 to 5 years max. So when we talk about the AIF subcategory of venture capital fund in under category 1, in this area they are clearly stating this part, and this is the correct answer too. So it is A only in this area as well. It is both assertion and reasoning are true, and reasoning is the correct explanation for assertion. As I told you, in the upcoming questions, I'm going to talk about all the AIF categories too. What is the primary criterion for an individual to qualify as an investor? Correct, Sabiha ma'am? What is the primary criterion for an individual to qualify as an angel investor in an angel fund? Minimum 10 lakh of capital, net tangible assets should be of at least 2 CR, or 2 CR excluding the value of the principal's residence, 2 crores, that is early stage investment experience at least of 5 years, or entrepreneurial experience in any industry. What would be the primary criterion for an individual to qualify as an angel fund investor? Angel funds, these people are not interested in your business at all. They are there to help you. Then when we talk about this area, the correct answer would be B. It is for net, their money should be up to 2 CR. If you're putting 25 lakh into someone else's business minimum, then obviously you should be having money now. So the net tangible assets of at least 2 CR should be there. Correct, Sabiha ma'am? That is excluding the value of the principal residence. Matlab, except your residence, you should be have at least 2 CR in your pocket. Even to do charity, you should have enough money now, right? Then according to the regulation of 21R, how is private equity fund defined under SEBI regulations 2012? It is a fund which is primarily investing in real estate, or fund investing in a diversified portfolio of securities, or fund primarily investing in equity or equity linked investments, or a fund specializing in commodity market investments. When we talk about 21R na, how is the private equity fund defined? The private equity fund can be defined as the equity linked instruments. It is basically investing in pure equity only, investing in equity or equity linked instruments only. We are not investing in anything else. We are just investing in these. In this case, the correct answer is C. That is a fund primarily investing in equity and equity linked instruments. Then here comes the next question. This is something that we have just talked about. What is the maximum period for an angel fund can accept an investment of not less than 25 CR for an angel investor? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or 5 years? We have just done this concept in some other question. What is the maximum period, everyone? Go ahead and answer. Everybody who's there in the class, please go ahead and share the session. And please like the session as well and share it among your peers. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, first of all, subscribe the channel as well. And by the end of the session, I will also be telling you about our sale which has just started. So you can avail the maximum benefits out of it. In this case, the correct answer is C, everyone. We have just talked about category 1 now. AIF, angel funds. It is 3 years. Okay. Next question. Which regulatory body issues circulars to improve the transparency and governing standards of AIF in India? RBI, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Securities, or MCA? Who issues the circulars? We talked about the regulatory body. Now we're talking about the circulars. The circulars which are introduced in terms of transparency. RBI, MCA, Ministry of Finance, or Securities and Exchange Board of India. Correct, Kavita ma'am. It is 3 years. Very good. In this case, the correct answer is SEBI. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Okay. Again, issued by SEBI and even carried forward by SEBI again. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Next question. In context of private placement as per section 42, how many individuals can offer or invitation be extended to, excluding qualified institutional buyers and eligible employees? 100, 150, 200, or there is no limit? As per section 42, see, when we talk about the individuals to which we can actually send an offer or invitation be extended to, it can be done up to 200 individuals. The answer is 200. Or excluding the qualified, we are not even including the institutional investors or the eligible employees, because eligible employees gets ESOPs, na? Employee stock option plans. So we are keeping them out of it. So when keeping them out of it, the correct answer would be up to 200 individuals. Answer is C, everyone. Very good, Kavita ma'am. Everybody, please participate in this particular live class. Chale. Then comes the next question. Why are private equity funds subjected to less stringent compliance compared to public offerings? Private equity funds are exempt from regulatory oversight, or private equity transactions involve limited number of investors. Private equity investors are made in publicly traded companies, or private equity are not allowed to raise funds from the general public. Why are private equity funds less stringent? See, when we're talking about IPO or FPO, we are introducing money through SEBI. At that point of time, things are very, very strict. Why does it become easy when you have private equity? The point is, when we are having public issue, so many people are getting involved, right? So many people would be buying the shares. There is no limit to it. Public company, public dealings, share buying and selling can be done with n number of people. But the point is, when we are having private equity, we know the counted number of people are involved. When counted number of people are involved, then the answer would be B. That's why the answer is the private equity transactions involve only a limited number of investors. So there is never a problem. Okay, let's begin with the session, everyone. Today we are talking about private equity. Further, module D is going on. So let's move further regarding the same module. Module D, this is unit number 3 of the module D. In terms of the entire syllabus, we have got overall 25 chapters. So let's continue further, everyone. Okay. We were doing private equity, angel funds, and venture capital. चलिए
The topic is this. What is the primary authority of the private equity, everyone? I believe we did a similar question in the previous class as well. Right? What is the particular portion? Very good, Mr. Ahmad sir. It is correct. It is SEBI. SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, is responsible for this. Good morning. Now, let's see. This SEBI. Acha, okay. I think I will be switching off to the next slide. This is the previous questions itself. Let me just open up the new one. Acha, everyone, when we talk about SEBI, does RBI has any role in this, or only SEBI has a role? When we talk about Securities and Exchange Board of India, it takes care of all these things. It doesn't take care of anything else, right? We talk about SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Whenever we are arranging funds for the organization, this is not something in the hands of RBI. RBI can put limitations and when it comes to any kind of receiving further. You know? Just a moment. Let's switch it on and continue further. Everybody, the marathon which was held on, I think, a day before yesterday, please review the marathon properly and let me know. I think we'll be having another session soon. So, till that time, please revise all the mini marathons. Okay, there it is. Right. These are the new questions, everyone. Look at the first question. Okay. What is the purpose of non-disclosure agreement in private equity? Non-disclosure means if one organization is taking over another or private equity, whatever portion they have taken, that has to be very that has to be something which is to be kept in the organization at a very limited portion. है ना? What is the purpose of non-disclosure agreement, NDA, in the private equity investment? To disclose confidential information, or they are saying to solicit the clients, or to prevent unauthorized use of confidential information, or to share the financial projections. Basically, now they don't want anybody to know about this. The particular organizations, till the time their agreements are not complete, they don't want anybody to know about it. So, what is the purpose of non-disclosure agreement or NDA in the private equity investment process? They, in this case, the purpose of NDA is basically to prevent unauthorized use of the confidential information. In this case, the correct answer is to prevent the unauthorized use of confidential information. The second point, which document provides a detailed overview of the investment opportunity in the private equity deal without revealing the name of the vendor? Confidential information memorandum or valuation report or non-disclosure agreement or investment teaser? What would be the answer, everyone? Which document provides a detailed overview? Okay, overview of the investment opportunity. If you look at the investment opportunity, everyone, the private equity, without revealing the, if we do not want to reveal the name of the vendor, this is also the point that we have to take care now. Okay, okay. Now let's look at the answer as well. This is without revealing the name of the vendor. It is investment teaser. Okay, non-disclosure agreement is not to tell about the particular portion of their the agreement and all. When we talk about the investment teaser, this is just a way of discussing about the portion of the investment opportunity, what exactly it is, you know. So we are going to talk about the investment opportunity that we are getting. Oh, am I audible clearly? I was Am I audible clearly, everyone? Okay, I think I am. When we talk about investment teaser basically is an overview. Okay, it is something which is providing the information further. Now let's move on. Then comes the private equity investment in India are often made of privately held businesses that are not listed on any stock exchange. Private equity invest transactions involving private equity company are recommended due to the availability of high quality assets. What do you mean by the private equity there, everyone, and the reasons for the same? Private equity investments are often made for privately held businesses that are not listed on. Yes, obviously, now when we talk about the private equity, now people take it when they do not want to go for public. Okay, they don't want public to have their share. And then private equity transactions involving the publicly traded company are recommended due to availability. The private equity is basically traded when the company do not want anybody else to be a part of it. They want, due to the availability of high quality assets. This is basically when we want only set of people to be involved in it. So in this case, the correct answer is A only. Thank you so much, Aman sir. It is A. The assertion and reasoning both are correct. Okay? These kind of questions would be there in the examination, everyone. Okay? These kind of questions are asked in the examination. Chale. Now comes the next point. This point says, how do venture capitalists typically compensate for high risk? How do venture capitalists typically compensate for high risk involved in new funding business when they are giving funds to anybody who is a very who's very new to the business, and we are taking a risk by giving them money? What are we going to do? Providing low interest loans, demanding the share of the company in exchange for financial backing, or offering government grants, or when we are exclusively investing in companies with prior expertise, providing low interest loans, demanding a share in the company. I think the best way is, if you have seen Shark Tank India, they are like, if you want a loan, we want 5 to 7% of holding, 10% holding. In this case, they are making sure ki if this company works well, then why don't we take a part of this organization too? You know, that's the coolest thing to do. That is, if you see there's a new venture coming up and we are taking a risk, why to give them loan? Take up their ownership as well. That is how these organizations later on take over the entire new organization when they see it is growing further. So the answer would be B. They demand a share in the new equity share. They want a part of their organization, because when you have a part of this organization, you have every scope to grow further, and the scope cannot be taken away from you. This is the power of this area, that whenever you want to grow further, then this can be done by the organization itself. that they will demand कि नहीं नहीं we want equity shareholding as well. If you have equity shareholding, you will never have a problem, right? Done, everyone? चलिए, then moving on to the next point. The next point says which of the following statements are false? Indicate the correct uh, option there. Share capital issued by the company for the first time is known as venture capital. All venture capital funds are promoted by the government. In addition to capital, venture capitalists provide managerial and technical support as well. Benefits from venture capital financing can be realized in long term only. When we talk about the venture capital, then which of the following statements are false? See, the point is indicate the correct one. Acha, in this case, when we talk about we have to find out the correct one only, because we cannot find all the ones which are wrong now. Just a moment. I think let me just make it more visible to you. In terms of this part only, one is correct. Okay? Indicate the correct code. In this case, share capital issued by the company for the first time is venture capital. This is not true. In addition to capital, venture capitalists provide managerial and technical support. Vesena C is correct, everyone. If I have to go for the correct one now, and this is also correct, benefits from the venture capital financing can be realized only in longer run. Yes, it can be done only in the longer run. Even when the companies are share capital issued by a company for the first time, if the company is trying to grow further itself, then they can issue shares to the venture capitalist first. This can also be true. I believe there is only one thing that is wrong. All venture capital funds are promoted by the government. There is nothing of that sort. Not only the government is working, venture capitalists existed in the era of even the time when the independence wasn't there. So this thing has been a trouble in this case at all. Okay, chaliye, let's continue further. Everybody, if you like this particular session, please share it among your peers, and don't forget to like the session as well. Whatever topics that I'm covering today is a part of module D, so please go ahead and share it. This is something that motivates us as well, because every single day we are making more and more content from the IIBF book itself. The content is not prepared from anything else, but it's just from the book itself. Okay? Okay, now let's look at it, everyone. Why do venture capitalists think that entrepreneurs should work with them? Why do they think that the entrepreneurs should work with them, everyone? Why do venture capitalists think that entrepreneurs should work with them? Due to financial expertise, value in strategy and acquisition, quick funding, or network expansion. That is, why do venture capitalists think that entrepreneurs should work with them? The entrepreneurs should work with them because of value in strategy and acquisition. Basically, people look at venture capitalists due to two things. One thing is true, that we get finances from them. But other than finances, one of the core areas of these people, venture capitalists, angel funds, is basically that these people provide highly valuable strategy and execution of the processes, which is not when you are new to the market, you are not able to find it out. It's not easy to come up with these ideas on your own. So in this case, the correct answer is B, value in strategy and execution. Acha, what could signal that a venture capital firm is facing challenges or fundraising? Regular investment in startups, lack of engagement in portfolio companies, recent completion of funding round, or no new startup investment for over 6 months. What could be the signal that the venture capital firm is facing challenges? When the company is facing challenges, now the signals are definitely there, and they are bound to be known to the public. For example, regular investments in startups, when they are making money and they're investing in startups, means everything is fine. Then lack of engagement with portfolio companies. If they are not involved in portfolio companies, I don't think this can be a major point. Recent completion of a funding round. They have just completed funding round. That means they had money. Only then they could give money to others. And there is no new startup investments over 6 months. If they are not investing in anything over the period of next 6 months, then it is six. It is D only, everyone. Okay, no new startup is investments for over 6 months. Next point. When are liquidity events such as IPO or sale or to a public company likely to occur in private investments? Shortly after the initial investment, after a considerable amount of time, quarterly, or at the discretion of general partners. When are liquidity events such as IPO? IPO is basically when you are making fundraising your funds or you are selling the public company, likely to occur in a private equity investment. In terms of a private equity investment, when can it happen, everyone? वैसे तो this there is no specific time on a genuine note. When are liquidity events such as IPO likely to occur in private equity? In terms of private equity, I would say once they get a good amount of money from the private equity people already. So after a considerable period of time, when you are in need of funds, the funds is already arranged. So this will not happen very soon. Okay? This will not happen very soon. Go ahead and please participate in the answer, everyone. What can private equity funds can be used in terms of business development? Where can we use it, everyone? Private equity, trading public stock, financing public corporations, reinforcing balance sheets, or delisting private stock. What can private equity funds be used for? पता है, funds are required for the company. Maybe they would have been going for IPO earlier. It puts a lot of pressure on them because they have taken loan from the public. Public is putting money into them. So demand and supply, they are stuck with that particular thing. They are looking at the stock market fluctuations. It becomes difficult. So trading in stock exchange is what they are running from when they opt for public equity, private equity. So this is gone. Financing public corporations. You are there to fund yourself first. If I am looking at the private equity funds now, I want money. So in this case, that is why I'm keeping this one out as well. Delisting the private stock, these are already out of the public listing, so this is not the point even. Basically, when you are putting the private equity into the business development, you are trying to save the company by finances from certain people with whom it's like you have a buddy now who can help you out in your work. Rather than taking money from unknown, you are taking the money from known. So you try to have a particular business relationship there. So it is reinforcing the balance sheets. Next question, everyone. How is the price of the company's shares determined in private equity transaction? Market forces, negotiation between buyer and seller, publicly traded company comparison, or regulatory frameworks. What would be the answer in this case? How is the price of the company's shares determined in private equity transactions? Oh, sorry. The answer is negotiation between buyer and seller. How is the price of the company shares determined? Private equity. Two people are sitting. There is a buyer and a seller, right? So these are the only two people who are involved. In terms of shares and all, we will find a lot of people being involved. Private equity is between two parties. So these are kind of case study kind of questions which I try to create for you. So private equity distinguishes itself from by deciding shareholder right individually through negotiations. The point is clear, right? This is what in the IBA book itself. This is a kind of question that they can ask, taking a particular paragraph from the book and asking you questions from it. Sorry, this point says that when we talk about the negotiations, how does this approach impact the governance structure compared to publicly traded companies with the standardized governance framework? Introduction of standardized governance structures, greater flexibility in governance dynamics, alignment with public market governance norms, or reduction in decision making variations. What would be the answer in this case? The private equity distinguishes. How does this approach impact the governance structure? Everybody, we are having a word with someone else, है ना? And at the same time, we are having a word to a public traded company. A company which gets money from public is deciding to look forward towards a private equity area with standardized governance frameworks, introduction of standardized governance structures, greater flexibility, alignment with public, or reduction in decision making variations. Uh, okay. We look at this question, private equity engages. Acha. In this case, when you are looking forward towards governance frameworks, na, you understand that the governance dynamics are changing, isn't it? You understand the fact that earlier there were things in terms of public, there were standardized. In terms of SEBI dealings, you will see there are standardized agreements. In this case, they are also looking forward towards governance structure. This is because they want to add greater flexibility in the governance dynamics. Next question, everyone. The private equity firm engages in distressed funding. Matlab, when the company is almost dying, is very stressed, then they provide funding to them to invest in struggling businesses with underperforming assets. Matlab, the company is doomed right now. It is slowly and steadily dying. What distinguishes distressed funding from other forms of private equity financing? Focus on high profit assets, investment in financially stable businesses, investment of changes to improve management, or exclusive consideration of tangible assets. When we talk about the private equity, now private equity basically tries to improve the management of this organization. They are literally helping these organizations to improve their management of funds, because now sometimes it's not about the problem of the funding. Everybody gets funding at one point of time, but the point is, are you using that 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 1 cr, 2 cr, 200 cr in a proper manner or not? That is the consideration. Hello everyone, welcome to Offices Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of ABFM. Till now, in terms of the ABFM, we are done with A, B, C in terms of the YT classes, and Module D is right now going on. As you know, the exam is also approaching. I am now coming up with the marathon series, the mini marathon as well as the mega marathon. My Maha marathon would be on 7th of December, and kindly be there on that particular day. In the evening, I'll be starting with my session, and it is going to be a 5+ hours of the marathon there. And there are many marathon series is also going on. Please join it. At the same time, currently in my regular session, I'm covering up the topic of private equity and venture capital. Today, I'll be ending with the venture capital and continuing with the area of artificial intelligence as well. AI is basically the talk of the town that I'll be covering in the questions today as well. Acha, a few important things, everyone. We have the topic of private equity and venture capital, right? So let's talk about it. Let's finish this off today and let's start with AI as well. Okay, everyone. Leveraged buyouts. Acha, what do you mean by leveraged buyouts? But this is a particular topic that I've seen in many chapters of Module D. And even in parts of Module C, you would have seen it. And leveraged. Leverage is basically when I borrow money from someone else. This is borrowed. Buyouts are a common type of private equity investment. Okay? In LBO, what role does a special purpose entity play in the acquisition process? What is the primary source of funding? Acha, one thing that many bankers had asked me in many classes ki ma'am, what exactly is this SPV? पता है, one of the simplest examples that I can say regarding SPV is special purpose vehicle. Uh, People normally, what people do is, if they want to kill someone, this is what you would have seen in many movies. They hire a sniper, a shooter, who would kill someone else on their behalf, so that their name doesn't come. Kind of Savdhan India kind of scenario. Yeah, it looks like that. SPV does the same. I want to take over the competing company, but I don't want my name involved in it. So what will I do? If I don't want my name involved in it, then what I'll do is, this is me, and this is the special purpose vehicle, and this is the competitor that I want to buy. So I will help the SPV by financing it to buy this company. The moment it has got the control over this company, this SPV will liquidate or will get absorbed in my company. So I am getting B. Till the time the end work is not done, nobody comes to know that behind the entire scenario, it was A, called special purpose vehicle, everyone. Right? Okay. Chaliye. Now let's move on to the next point as well. It says that SPV manages the acquired company funded primarily by equity. SPV provides cash for acquisition funded by debt. SPV handles negotiations funded by a mix of equity and debt. SPV acquires guarantees tax benefits funded primarily by debt. When we talk about the special purpose vehicle, they are able to survive because of uh, they are using their cash to buy the other company. In this case, what are they doing? They are doing a B point. Special purpose vehicle provides cash for the acquisition funded by the debt. Okay? So special purpose vehicle provides cash for the acquisition funded by the debt. Okay, here comes the next question, everyone. Venture capital is a subset of private equity that involves investors, angels providing capitals to the entrepreneurs. What stage of business development does Series A financing typically support? And what metric increased in the financial year 2021-22 in for the category 1 of venture capital funds? This is a hardcore question from a specific paragraph as it is taken. This is seed financing, decrease in the fund. Series A financing. Acha, what are these seed financing, Series A and early stage? These are stages of a startup. Okay? So when we talk about early stage, then we have seed financing, then we have Series A. In this case, they are talking about what stage of business development does Series A typically support. So Series A financing is active competition in existing industries. Seed financing is decrease in fundraising. Then we have early stage financing, increasing the funds raised. Seed financing increases in the fund raised. What would be the answer in this case, everyone? The correct answer is C, early stage financing. Okay, the answer is early stage finance, increase in funds. So basically, now what stage of business development does Series A financing typically support? They are actually helping the early stage finance. This is actually the beginning part of the startup of a business where they are badly in need of funds because they cannot sustain themselves. They are just like kids. The kids cannot work on their own to earn money. So the parents work during that period. This is the same thing. The venture capitalist angel investors, these become the shareholders' shelter. The investors' shelter. They become the guiding part, or you can say the person who's helping them in taking the debts and all. So it is C, the early stage finance or increase in funds raised. Next point, what conditions must an individual meet to be considered an angel investor for an angel fund? Minimum net tangible assets for 1 crore rupees, serial entrepreneur with at least 5 years of experience, net tangible assets for of at least 2 crore rupees, excluding the value of principal residence or early stage investment experience with a net worth of at least 5 crore rupees. What is it? What conditions must an individual meet to be considered as an angel investor? When we're looking towards an individual investor, angel investor, the answer would be C. They minimum have to have 2 CR of net tangible assets, excluding their principal residence. Matlab, their home, other than their house, they should be having 2 CR in their pocket. That is net tangible assets of at least 2 CR, excluding the value of the principal residence. Okay. Now let's look at the next question. Which stage of private equity investments involve the provision of initial funding to take a concept from the prototype to a finished product or a service? Growth capital, Series A financing, seed capital, or late stage investments? What would be the answer in this case, everyone? Which stage of private equity investments involved in the of initial funding to take a concept from prototype to a finished product or service? The correct answer would be seed capital. This is again an early stage. Okay? This is the beginning of the startups there. The answer is seed capital. What is typically included in the early stages of private equity transactions involving the creation and distribution of condensed overview of investment opportunity, valuation stage, non-disclosure agreement, teaser sent by investment bankers, or memorandum regarding confidential information stage? What would be the answer, everyone, in this case? What typically included in the early stage of private equity? In the early stage of private equity involving the creation and distribution of condensed overview of investment opportunity. When we are looking at the early stages, when we are looking at this point, it is basically the teaser which is sent by investors, bankers stage. They send their proposal now. They are creating and distributing the condensed overview of the investment opportunity, whatever opportunity they possess. How are they sharing it is covered in this area. So the answer is C. The teaser sent by the investment banker stage. Everyone. So let's look at the next question now. I'm sorry. Why is non-disclosure agreement required in private equity transactions? To determine the financial health of the acquired company, to prevent unauthorized use of confidential information, to facilitate the valuation process, or to disclose the investment thesis to potential acquirers. Why is NDA prepared? I'm sorry. NDA are prepared so that people are not disclosing the vital information of their agreements. That is to prevent unauthorized use of confidential information. What is the common feature of the financial burden on aided companies in the early years of venture capital partnership? High financial burden, minimal financial burden, debt-based financing, or government subsidies? When you're looking at it, what is the common feature of financial burden on aided companies, the companies which are basically helped a lot from other organizations. They are basically organizations which are minimal financial burden. Okay? One of the financial burden on aided companies. The companies which are helped by the financial venture capitalists, they don't need anybody else to help them. So technically, they're in a stronger situation. That means they have minimal financial burden. So let's begin with the AI as well. We are starting with the topic of artificial intelligence. Okay, now what does the term artificial intelligence refer to? Do you know artificial intelligence is not something which is actually created? This is okay. Technically, Achane, this is actually something which is not uh, inherited. This is actually something which is created. I'm sorry about the earlier statement. When we talk about AI, AI is basically whatever vital information, whatever relevant information, whatever information you are putting into the those artificial brains, they will be able to process that information. That is why their intelligence is artificial. You put it in the particular computer system a specific set of information. If you have emotional feelings, then how do you define your emotions? You will talk to the AI and you will share the particular process of your emotions. uh, Multiple income tax cases, multiple law based cases, you share that. And what happens is when you share all these things, then they replicate, then what will happen? There was a case, I think there's a particular story, I don't know to what point it is correct, but in China, they started using these apps in order to uh, go for cases. And what happened is wherever the app was used, the particular person won the case. So ultimately, they said not to use the app at all, to go with for the cases, prepare yourself accordingly, and then go for it. Basically, an app can see multiple things without making any effort, isn't it? The app can definitely process a lot of cases at one point of time, isn't it? So, since it can process so much of information at one point of time, there is never a problem. The app will always win the case. So, basically, artificial intelligence is the information that you put in it. It doesn't have a thinking process of its own, but it is using our provided knowledge for its usage. Replication of animal intelligence, emulation of human intelligence in computers, computer programming language, or advanced robotics technology. Basically, it is emulation of human intelligence and computers. Uh, Not only the IQ, intelligence quotient, but also the emotional quotient. Now they are guiding people how to deal with their lives. You'll find that there are certain cases where people have started talking to the AI a lot. Matlab, there was a specific point. I don't know to what extent it was correct, but there was a point where I heard about the AI there, that people have started talking to AI a lot rather than their friends and their partners than the spouses. So altogether, so what is happening is this is affecting their relationships with the people ultimately, because people are now getting dependent on AI. Now AI has no physical presence, so those things are also manipulating their minds to that extent that they are running away from the realities. Acha, here comes the next question, everyone. This question talks about the fact of, in the historical context, who is credited with being the first person to suggest a test to assess the machine intelligence? John McCarthy, Alan Turing, Nick Bostrom, or Google? Person who is behind the process, first person to use machine intelligence was Alan Turing. Google had used the rank brain. For example, if I try to search something, my search ranking and your search ranking would be different based upon the content you see and content I see. So that is why everybody has their own specialized Facebook pages, Instagram searches, and even Google searches. You will see the kind of history based searches that you would have made till now. So I can say when we talk about this area of machine intelligence, that comes with the fact that Google introduced something way better than it. Matlab, not way better, but I believe it just got introduced through Google. I'm sorry. point. During which years did the majority of AI research focus on mostly on theoretical aspects of this field? 1956 to 1966, 66 to 76, 76 to 86, and 86 to 96. What was the time period in which this particular theory was used? It was 56 to 66 when AI was in the, matlab it was started in 56 to 66. Think about it. I think I could hear a lot of things happening in the past few years. Sorry. Now let's look at the next point. The next point says, what is the primary objective of AI is as identified in the Dartmouth conference: to create realistic robots, to comprehend and stimulate human cognitive process, to replace human decision making, or to develop advanced computer programming languages. In the Dartmouth conference, it was the first thing that they talked about. Basically, the AI was first of all talked about in the Dartmouth conference only. So basically, in this area, to create the robotics was never the point. To comprehend and stimulate human cognitive process, or to replace human decision making. Human decision making cannot be replaced because the computer will always consider only one thing: the information which it has, while a human will consider his human experience, his emotional experience, and an experience which is way beyond explanation as well. So how can we depend upon AI completely? And to develop the computer programming languages, no, it was B, to comprehend and stimulate the human cognitive processes. Okay, now comes the next point. What is the cube flow pipeline system designed for in the context of AI? Cube flow pipeline system, everyone. In terms of cube flow pipeline system, what do they do? In terms of cube flow pipeline system, what are they talking about? They're talking about building and distributing machine learning workflows, creating intelligent computer assisted instructions, replicating human decision making, or simulating mental processes common to humans. So what are they doing in this case? When we talk about cube flow pipeline system, it talked about building and distributing machine learning workflows. We are looking at A. The answer is A, everyone. Building and distributing machine learning workflows. What is the primary function of Google Duplex as initially demonstrated by Google CEO Sundar Pichai? AI online food purchasing or restricted to the United States. What is the primary function of Google Duplex, everyone? When we're talking about the Google Duplex, it is initially demonstrated by Sundar Pichai. When they talked about it, now this was regarding doing the phone calls for someone else. For example, if I'm trying to talk to someone on phone, but again ultimately it's a commercial call, so sometimes it takes a lot of time. Now you are on waiting for a longer period, so the waiting period is handled by the AI, and even sometimes even the calling is also handled by it only. So what they do is they are scheduling the appointments using AI, and surprisingly people couldn't even get it that whether the human was on the other side or the AI, because they are taking pauses just like you and us. For example, if I'm talking and I'm like, acha. So those pauses are even also captured well by the AI. This is the power of AI which has come over the period of time. That is scheduling the phone appointments using AI. Now, how does the Google Duplex simulate human-like conversation during the phone appointments, adding robotic pauses and ums in the speech, restricting responses to predetermined phases? If there are predetermined phases, it is very much possible that they will come to know it's an AI. avoiding the pauses for more efficient conversation or speaking in a monotone voice. The correct answer in this is adding the robotic pauses and ums in their speech. Hello everyone, welcome to Offices 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of CIIB and we are talking about ABFM. So everybody, I hope I am audible and the PPT is clearly visible. Everybody, the revision batch is just about to start. Be there, enroll yourself in the revision batch of ABFM so that you are able to get the maximum output in terms of your studies there. And at the same time, our test series is also out. Go ahead and use the code Y541, get the discounts. At this point of time, sale is going on. That means 80% on our Mahapacks as well as other courses and double validity on all our Mahapacks. So if you are planning, then you should not delay it even for a moment. You should look forward to it as early as possible, purchase it, enroll yourself in the courses as and when you require them, so that when you have the course, you can start as early as possible. Right? So let's talk about it. Acha everyone, in the last class we had started with the module D chapter artificial intelligence. Acha, AI is the talk of the town these days. Why is AI the talk of the town? This particular thing has entered in almost every nook and corner of the world. Every single field is now getting affected with it. Be it the medical field, be it the teaching field, I would say, be it the entire ed tech, be it the content developers, then the publishers, the people who are into the blog writing. I believe every single area has been now affected if the AI takes over the entire working. But exactly what is AI? Artificial intelligence. Matlab someone else is creating this intelligence. Who are the people who are creating this intelligence and how are they creating? Basically, what they are doing is they are putting the intelligence of a human mind, how a human mind thinks, processes things, is now completely given to the it is now completely given to uh, it is now completely given to the computer systems. So the computer systems have become very, very thought. They have basically involved themselves in that limit that now they think and talk like human beings. Even there are people. There were cases that have just come across that in certain cases, what has happened is there are people who said that their partners or their spouses have been completely involved in the AI created fictional characters, and that is why they are not giving time to their partners. Even recently, there were many cases where Prime Minister of India had warned the social media that if there is any kind of AI based the those kind of, I think there were editing of various videos of various celebrities which were out these days, and it was clearly marked if these things are happening, it is not good. Chaliye, got the point, everyone? Now, when we talk about AI, then this has got a huge importance in the world right now. Though there are negatives as well, but there are positives as well too. So when we talk about AI, what are the things that is there in our book? In our book, they have talked about how this AI is built, how is it used in various areas, and what are the various tools, right? In our book, it is limited to that part. Now let's talk about one of those things. Now, what is the cube flow pipeline system designed for in context of AI? When we talk about cube flow pipeline system, under this what happens is the entire information is sent in some kind of, I would say, in terms of pouches and everything. Actually, in terms of single words, simpler words, I can say. So, Kubeflow pipeline system is basically the movement or distribution of that particular knowledge-based things in a packaged form, I would say. And it goes in the pipeline system means it goes just like water. It flows. Okay. So, what would be the answer in this case?
When we talk about, the answer is either building and distributing machine learning workflows, then creating intelligent computer assistant instruction, replicating human decision making. You cannot replicate human decision making. You have to learn how human decisions are made, right? If I am taking a decision whether to go and meet someone or I don't want to meet someone, there are two things that I'll be doing. First is I would be thinking practically and emotionally at the same time. So both the EQ and IQ would be used, and then I'll come to a decision. Sometimes humans are totally IQ based, and sometimes people take decisions totally EQ based. So if they are trying to replicate the human decision, it is just not possible because they lack emotions, right? Then simulation, simulating mental process common to humans. Uh, you can simulate, but to what extent? AI is not simulation of mental processes. It is basically, I would say, it is basically building and distributing machine learning workflows, which is the work of Kubeflow pipeline system. Okay, the answer is A, building and distributing machine learning workflows. Now, what is the primary function of Google Duplex? As initially demonstrated by the Google CEO Sundar Pichai in May 2018. I think we talked about it, right? In the last class, even Sundar Pichai has this had shown the particular power of this method under which people could actually it was not only used in reservations and all, it was actually done in scheduling phone appointments using AI. So initially it started with the fact that if you are in the waiting line, so when you are in the waiting line, because when you are calling for these things are in terms of commission lines, they are normally put into a long waiting line. So when there is a long waiting line, these people will come up and say that we have something that we wanted to discuss. So when they are trying to discuss that part, the scheduling phone appointments using AI, what will happen is when the person picks up the call, then AI will first of all they will tell you that you can pick up the phone. But if you are not available, then what you can do is the AI will do the particular portion for you, and it will also use the ums and uhs that we use, right? So even when right now I'm teaching, one of the things that a human does is at one point of view, I think this part, that part, we normally take pauses. That's basically how human works. So they are now replicating in certain way that it looks very very similar to how we talk, right? So in this case the correct answer is scheduling the phone appointments using the AI. Then comes actually this is the same question that we did yesterday even. How does the Google Duplex simulate human conversations during the phone appointments? That is, the answer is adding robotic pauses, ums in the speech, restricting responses to predetermined phrases, and then avoiding pauses for more efficient conversation, or speaking in a monotone voice. वैसे तो computers always speak in a monotone voice. Why? Because they lack emotions. So you and I, we can be happy, we can be sad, we can be tired, we can be exhausted, we can be irritated. But what will happen to a computer? It will work in a monotone voice. It is basically run by energy. It can be any sort of energy. It can be electricity, then through that it is working there till the time it has a source of energy, it is working. So basically it is speaking of a monotone voice. But when they want to behave like humans, then they will add robotic pauses and ums in the speech. So next point now. What controversial aspect of Google Duplex led to the changes in its usage policies? Limited availability to public consumers, then requirement of assistant to identify itself, then inability to comprehend conversations, or lack of appropriate responses. Acha, see, in terms of computers, see, human mind can definitely work in a very different manner altogether. Lack of limited availability to public customers is something which can definitely work. There is no point ki we can be scared about it. Requirement of for assistant to identify itself, that is required, right? In terms of Google Duplex, this was required. Then inability to comprehend conversations, now it is able to, because in terms of phone conversations regarding the appointments and all, if you give the prior information, the computer can still handle, because the area of scope is very limited. The lack of appropriate responses is still not the point. The correct answer is B. That is requirement of for assistant to identify itself. What additional feature of Google Duplex role? Just a moment, I think. Rollout of on the web in 2019. Basically, it was used in terms of online food purchasing only, or assisted airline check-in and restaurant reservation, or restricted to the US, or limited to Google Assistant users. Basically, now the use of Google Duplex was actually done in terms of assisted airline check-in and restaurant reservations. It has been widely used in this particular area, but rest in the other things it is still more complex, because these systems has to be uh, broadened up, because humans work in a very different manner, no? When we are trying to replicate. For example, I said that I am available at this point of time. Are you available at this point of time? Now, if I do not put the entire schedule of my day, then you will not be able to find out. And at the same time, sometimes the update of all the things is just not there. You know? This happens. Humans are emotionally working as well. So you and I are, when we are emotionally working, then this cannot be done there at all, isn't it? So in this case, that's it. Assistant airline check-in and restaurant reservations. Chaliye. Next point. What capabilities does the Google Duplex currently offer according to the Chennai? Let me just this point. Because I didn't add the case study format now. I prepared it for the case study format. What capabilities does Google Duplex offer everyone? Only restaurant, or limited to US, or assisted retail checkout, airline check-in, reservations, and more. We say it is now. It has definitely increased further. You know? So can I say in this case the point is assisted retail checkout, airline check-in, or restaurant reservations, or more. Acha. Then, what is the primary purpose of Google Duplex? Hold for me. Acha, this is one of the coolest things that I was telling you about. One is they can have a word with you and me. Second is hold for me. Checking business hours, managing inventory, assisting phone during phone waits, or providing language translations. Basically, it started with the point that if I am one of the basic pains of everybody, matlab, at least I have faced this pain when I'm making a call to customer service. We all have faced this. You call customer service and the waiting line is at least for sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. It's a long waiting call. So what do? We will keep the normally what I do is I keep the phone on speaker phone ki theek hai, as soon as the particular person picks up, and then I'll have a word with the person. So how to look forward to this entire scenario? Then they will prepare it in such a way that hold for me will basically do this part for me ki theek hai, whenever the particular person has not picked up the phone, then he will keep us waiting. The moment the person picks up the phone who's going to attend us, it will actually alert us that the person is now available, so we can have a word with that. Okay. So that the basic purpose is basically assisting during phone waits. So it will basically alert us that now the particular person has picked up the phone. Now you can discuss whatever you wanted to. Chaliye. Now comes the next point. It is basically assisting during phone waits. Now comes the next point. In the Indian, in the banking industry, what role does robo-advisor plays? Detecting fraudulent activities, providing customer service through chatbots, offering investment recommendations on based on client data, and enhancing cybersecurity measures. Do you know the particular chatbot system? This particular system is now used in almost every specific area. Okay. Now, this is something that the chatbot system is not only limited to the banking industry, but it is doing work for a different area altogether as well. Acha, in the banking industry, it is right now being used in terms of offering investment recommendations based on the client data. Based upon our things, na, we can choose the schemes through which we can do the work. Okay? So in this case, offering the investment recommendations based on the client data. Okay, this is basically I've seen in many areas. Even the investment industry is also using it in terms of acha, even if we talk about RDs, FDs based upon this, they will determine if I would like to go for SIP, then it will determine ki which one is beneficial for you, what are the rates, everything is this particular AI helping a lot. Their apps have started getting better, right? Acha, now comes the next point. How does AI contribute towards the cybersecurity in banking? Checking account balances, providing predictive analysis, analytics, or providing, acha, next is handling the customer service calls, or the last one is monitoring and preventing threats on learned patterns. See, checking the account balances is something which is there, but I won't say it is a part of the cybersecurity. It is basically for the convenience of the person there. In terms of cybersecurity means internet-based security. The answer is basically this only: monitoring and preventing threats based on learned patterns. You will see that whatever patterns you have learned, that what is the particular pattern in which the person is taking money. So in this case, monitoring and preventing the threats. ठीक है? Monitoring and preventing threats based on the learned patterns. What is hybrid information system, everyone? The hybrid information system is in context of finance, a system combining natural language processing and cybersecurity, an AI system for portfolio management, a software system combining various AI methodologies, and a tool for analyzing credit scores in real time. So when we talk about hybrid information system, how do we define hybrid information system? In terms of hybrid information system, uh, the basic work of any information system is related to the fact that it is making sure that the particular uh, information system provides the information as and when it is required. Okay. So when we are talking about hybrid, how does it work? Hybrid means it is basically a mix of something. So system combining natural and cyber security, or it is basically hybrid information system. Now it is basically a software. ठीक है, a software system combining various AI technologies, and then the next point is the tools or all these in this area. The answer would be C only, everyone. The answer is C. Really. Now, after this, what do we have? Why are hybrid systems extensively utilized in financial prediction, especially in stock market, due to their proficiency in natural language processing because of unpredictable nature of market, for storing auditory input effectively, and to enhance machine learning capabilities. In this case, the correct answer would be B. That is because of the unpredictable market nature. Always remember this market is extensively different. So people had started using now these hybrid systems in predicting the market secure what is happening in the market, and it has been really helpful in finding out what exactly is happening in the market altogether. It has been proved as a very good tool to find out when to stop investing and when to continue investment. Okay, so let's end the session here, everyone. Now, before I end my session, uh, sorry, let's look at our website. Okay, there it is. Go on to our website www.adda247.com. In this area, go on to the area of JIB CIB area. In this area, this is our CIB November. Everyone, my class for CIB Power Pack revision batch is starting today. You can join it, and this is the particular Power Pack revision batch, which includes all the ones BFM examination as well as ABFM, BRBL, ABM, whatever batches you're looking forward to. You can use the code Y541 and apply it, and you can get it for 2999.80. 81% discount is going on the revision batch. And then the revision batch, if you're looking forward to the batches, then why not go for CIB Mahapack 2.0 as well. In the Mahapack 2.0, you will get the entire things. Everybody who's preparing for the next year, not for this year, this can be really helpful as the double validity is going on. If you buy it for 6 months, you get it for 12. All the English medium, bilingual, present, past, and future classes during the validity period, whatever is available, is all opened up for you. You will also get 5+ hours of Mahamarathons. Then, along with this, you will also have 10+ hours of mini marathons. Along with this, you will also have practice paper, ebook, everything included in this pack. It's a very beneficial pack because once you buy it, you don't have to buy anything else. You can just apply the code Y541 and get 81% discount if you're using our app. So that's it for the day, everyone.